Hello guys, my name is Orest. I am from Lviv, Ukraine, currently staying over here, and in this video I would like to maybe speak, or better to tell, think out loud about the question why foreigners are coming to Ukraine, what they're doing here. Some of them are fighting, some of them are participating in humanitarian causes, and some people simply hang out. And this is a very important topic because many people are wondering about this. Many people around the world are telling that this is not your war. Why would you risk your life? Why would you come to Ukraine? Let Ukrainians deal with this, and with all the armor, with all the international support. Definitely Ukrainians are on the front line of all of this combat and the international struggle. Some people even tell that the West is basically fighting Russia with the hands of Ukrainians. But having experience of talking with many foreigners in Ukraine who participate in various directions, and during this year I met many people, I would like just to probably make a discussion about this. So if you have any ideas what makes people come, simply write down below. And I would agree that the war in Ukraine is not only about Ukraine. This is the war about what is right and what is wrong. This is the war between clear black and clear white. That's why, in my opinion, unprecedentedly, we see the situation when the majority of countries on our planet openly support Ukraine. This war is unjustified, and this is one of those rare examples when most people, the most population on our planet, can clearly see who is a victim and who is the aggressor. This is like the larger topic, right? But if we go down to the human level, still, everybody has their own intention. And definitely most of the people who come abroad to stand for Ukraine have some kind of noble reasons for that. For some of them, it is just a calling to support the justice. This is the calling to support the good cause. Some people are looking for different, maybe some more personal benefits. Yes, some people simply, for example, want to be useful. Some people think about that they're going to participate in the good cause now, and further, when Ukraine becomes peaceful again, they will have some connections, and this will give them more chances to participate in the reconstruction of our country. There are different types of large NGOs, middle NGOs, many charity organizations that simply grew like mushrooms when the war in Ukraine started, as well as huge international organizations that they participate in Ukraine the same as they do in other conflict areas around the world. And of course there are thousands of volunteers who simply by their own will, with their own risk, came to Ukraine looking for the way, looking how they can fill the gap in order to participate in this huge topic. During entire 2022, the last year, I've been mostly engaged in various humanitarian issues, which put me in contact with a lot of different organizations. And I'm super grateful to all the people for what they're doing and how they are participating in our cause. However, more and more lately, I started connecting with people who are soldiers and who are directly somehow participated in the army. One of them is Brandon Mitchell. I'm going to provide link next to this video. If you watch my channel, maybe you even know him already. And within one of my last trips to the east, to Donbass, we were chatting with Brandon, and we were trying to arrange a meeting. He used to be based in Kramatorsk, and doing evacuations from the front line. Actually, he enrolled as the combat medic into one of the largest organization, like medical combat organizations in Ukraine, which is the Hospitaliers. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to meet Brandon back then, because something happened to him. He probably got burnt out, or he had to fix some other health issues, so he left Kramatorsk to Kiev. However, even in such bad circumstances, and the turbulence, and watching all his crazy videos about, bam, boom, and how they evacuate people, you might be wondering that, still person was very responsive, which is rare in really crazy situations like what's happening in Donbass. And he was very, very helpful. So he put me in touch with some other people, local volunteers, that were able to navigate me somehow in the area further. So I didn't meet Brandon back then. Then unfortunately we didn't meet in Kiev, but we met not long time ago in my native Lviv. I invited him for a breakfast, and we had a very nice and interesting conversation about what both of us have been doing recently. I just got back from the large trip to the east, which took almost a month, over 4,000 kilometers driving. It's a pretty stressful, tiring, and hectic trip, I would say. And I felt very burnt out, and this usually happens when you come from a high-risk area to a relatively peaceful place. You need some time to adjust to normalish life, and leave back your memories when you're always very stressed, and because you're already in a situation where you can just slow down, like I'm doing right now, for example. So I didn't fully realize about every details what he was talking about the risk, about the calling, the destiny, and all the other stuff. And upon the end of our breakfast, I I asked him, like I'm pretty tired. I'm thinking of maybe changing the activity and so on. And what about you? Like, are you going to do this if it takes for too long? And I really seen how his face was changed, and he asked me, trying to hold himself, like, man, this question sounds almost like an insult to me. Even my mind was a little bit blurred back then, and I reconsidered this, and it really felt like wow, really, what a stupid question, from me as a Ukrainian who is participating in a war on the humanitarian mostly side during the entire year, from the guy who came back to Ukraine to participate in the resistance 1 year later, almost, asking such a stupid question. So I really felt a little bit low emotionally, and tried to sidewalk in our conversation from that particular topic. Eventually we had a good breakfast. Brandon was, as I understand, picking up a car that it was donated from somebody from Sweden, and then he drove back from Lviv to Kiev. For me, it took some time to recover in Lviv. I participated in the conferences and did some media work, as I usually do. And only lately I started to remember and trying to process many things that happened in the previous year. And one of them was this breakfast with Brandon. And I felt very, very terribly that I permitted myself to insult, in my opinion, Brandon like this. So recently I made a post about Brandon, and I wanted to feature him to my audience, to you guys, kind of like being very grateful for all the work that he's doing for Ukraine. And I just want to mention that in addition to being the combat medic and evacuating people from the hottest frontline areas, delivering them to the stabilization stations and actually rescuing life of Ukrainians, he is also supplying different army units with such necessities as power generators, as I believe there are like some medicine and other things that are vital for their functioning in a very distant places and in a very big proximity to the war zone. So I remembered our conversation, and then I made a post featuring Brandon, and trying to somehow be grateful to him. And one of our probably mutual viewers, if you're watching this, please tell, he told, "Hey Ores, Brandon about 1 month ago was actually speaking about you in his video about mental health." I'm going to provide a link to this video next to this one below near the comments. And he was talking about you, about how he insulted you. So that was weird, because I didn't really feel like Brandon insulted me. I was feeling guilty rather to that. So that's a very interesting point, and I just want to tell you, Brandon, openly with all the viewers who are witnessing this, that I feel sorry for asking that insulting question. Thank you as well for the prompt answer. And like really, I don't feel it as an insult at all. To me, it feels like a lesson. It feels like a gift, especially that our meeting happened on my birthday, by the way. So this made me reconsider many things, and it's impossible to tell how lucky do I feel that such amazing people as Brandon and other like international volunteers like Johnny FD, my good friend, all the Croatian crew, all other Swedish people who usually park their trucks in my backyard, where I live in Lviv. I'm like, it's amazing, guys, that you are doing, and because of such participation, it definitely feels that Ukraine is not alone in this war, and with your help, with your participation, we are moving the victory much closer. So at that point, I believe I should finish. Thanks again, Brandon. Guys, if you are looking for someone who is truly showing the real stuff from the ground, Brandon is the man. If you're looking for the place where you can donate directly with the transparency and with the hands of somebody who will make it the most effective, Brandon is the guy. That's it from me. It was my personal feeling that I simply wanted to address to the universe, to address to you, and of course to address to Brandon. Looking forward to see you again, my friend. Soon I am planning to be in Kyiv, and if you're around Lviv, please remember you have a good friend here. Thanks a lot, and see you soon. All the best, guys.